So I wasn't actually going to review the Apple Watch Ultra for a few reasons, which I'll get into later on in the video. But I also wanted to sort of share why you should consider one anyway. But before we do that, let's get into the watch itself and I'll share my experience with it over the past week, 2 weeks that I've had it. By the way, this top, you only get it when you've actually been to Dynamic Island. I'm one of those special people that has been to Dynamic Island. If you guys are interested in visiting Dynamic Island as well, I'll leave a link to it down in the description below. The design. So it is a big watch. For me personally and my wrists, I think it's a bit too big. However, don't let the size put you off. Some people love big watches like G-Shocks. They're popular for a reason. And because every reviewer, including myself, is saying it's big, everyone else ends up thinking it's big as well. But after a day or two, I got used to the size pretty much straight away. Also, it's not as heavy as you think. I was expecting it to be quite a weight on my wrist, but again, I got used to it quite quickly. If you can, I would highly recommend going to an Apple store and trying it on for yourself. There's only so much you can tell about a watch like this in photos and videos. The main benefit though of going with a watch this sort of size is that you get a bigger screen and you get a bigger battery. The screen on this is actually amazing. Because it's not curved around the edges, I feel like it's much easier to read and use. And with it being larger, you can fit more information on it. I love this Wayfinder watch face which I've been using, which gives you a ton of complication options. Ideal for those who want to see lots of information at once. I like being able to see things like the weather, sunset, sunrise times, and set timers quickly when I need to. You can even tap the dial and it'll switch to a compass as well as show you elevation and incline. It's amazingly capable. Another benefit of this watch face is the night mode option. With a quick rotation of the digital crown, it changes everything to red. This is clearly designed for night explorers and astronomers, but anyone can benefit from it. It can also get super bright when you need it to. With the peak 2000 nits brightness, it's double the brightness of a standard Apple Watch, making it so much easier to see when you're outside in bright sunlight. When it comes to the physical hardware of the watch itself, there's a small lip around the sapphire crystal glass which gives it some protection. And I think it also looks really nice as this lip has a sort of shiny edge to it, which when it catches the light gives the watch a bit of sort of a luxury look, considering the rest of it is quite utilitarian. The sapphire crystal should also be very tough against cracks and scratches. I know this from my own experience as my stainless steel Series 7 has been smashed and scraped a lot in everyday use and it's held up incredibly well. The rest of the watch is made up of titanium apart from the underside which is ceramic. The titanium finish on it is super nice. It has a satin look to it and is sort of a beigey grey sort of colour. I wasn't too sure about it when I first saw it, but now after a couple of weeks, I like it. It'll be interesting to see how it fares over a year of usage, especially someone who does a lot of adventure sort of stuff, goes in the ocean, you know, does all that sort of stuff. Yeah, I'm hoping it patinas quite well because with the way it's designed and stuff, it should do really. I really like the beige ceramic case on the bottom though. It's going to sound weird, but it has this sort of very creamy beige look to it. Almost looks like ice cream. It's very nice. The digital crown and the side button are quite a bit larger on this watch, which should make it easier to use with gloves. There's also the new action button, which can be used to do things like mark waypoints, control workouts, and a bunch of other stuff. I purchased the Ultra with the Ocean Band, not because I'll be going in the ocean with it, but simply because I thought it looked the nicest out of all the others. This is the midnight color, which is more of a muted navy blue color. I kind of wish it came in black or gray though. The strap itself is incredibly solid. It has this adjustable loop that can be moved up or down the strap. Once you've latched the strap on, you feed the remainder into the loop and it will stay put. I fully trust it not to come apart, which is important considering it's designed for extreme water sports. Other than the big screen, I think the best thing about this watch, and what I think is actually the most important feature to me anyway, is the battery life. The battery life on this thing is actually incredible. I can get around 2 to 3 days of usage with an hour or two of workout tracking every day, which to be honest is really, really good. This is a huge jump compared to previous Apple Watches, and I think one of the defining features of this watch. The battery life alone could be a reason to upgrade. Like, forget all the other features, because of the battery life, I think a lot of people would benefit from that. A lot of people would really enjoy having that larger battery. What's interesting though, is that on the Apple website, it says that the battery will last around 36 hours with average usage. I'm getting more than that. And I think the reason why I'm getting more than that is because I don't have a cellular plan on my watch. I've never actually had a cellular plan on any of my watches. I just haven't really needed it. And I think not having that really helps boost the battery life because I'm definitely getting more than 36 hours. So the main reason why I wasn't going to review this watch was because I'm really not the target audience for it. I'm not the type of person to go on crazy adventures and do extreme water sports or anything like that. Apple's marketing for this watch has been very much at power users, those who are looking for a very rugged watch which is made for adventure, things like hiking, marathons, diving and other intense activities. I'm really not that type of person. The toughest thing that this watch will probably go through is maybe being hit up against a couple of weights at the gym and then just sitting on my nice soft leather desk mat on my desk. But then I realized, why does that even matter? So just as an example, some people just like to get the biggest and the baddest truck they can get. They could get a normal car, which will take you from A to B, just like a truck will. But the reason they get a truck is because it's bigger, it's more rugged, it does a few more things. That's exactly how I see the Apple Watch Ultra. It's like the biggest and the baddest Apple Watch. It's literally as simple as that. You could go with a standard Apple Watch, which will do all the same things like tell you the time, show notifications, workout tracking, all that sort of stuff. But maybe you just want something that's just a lot more rugged, that is a lot more tougher. Maybe you're prone to cracking your Apple Watch or something and you want bigger battery life. This makes a lot of sense. And I feel like even though Apple are very much targeting it at adventurous sort of people and extreme sports sort of people, I think if you just want better battery life and a bigger screen, that's more than enough reason to upgrade to the Apple Watch Ultra. I will be going back to my Series 7 though. I just prefer the smaller size of the Series 7 and I really like the stainless steel all black look of my Series 7, especially with the link bracelet that I have. So yeah, I'll be going back to that. But this is a really great watch actually. Like I wasn't expecting it to be as good as it has been for the past week, 2 weeks that I've been using it. I'm really impressed by it. The battery life for me is the most impressive part about it. The ruggedness and stuff, obviously I'm not really someone who does anything crazy, so the ruggedness is nice, but it's the battery life that will benefit me most. But I could see someone, maybe like someone who works in construction or something, maybe on a building site, wearing a watch like this, knowing that it's not going to crack as easily, you know, it's a good buy maybe. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to check out one of my other videos. I've just recently uploaded an iPhone 14 Pro review. I'm really proud of that video, the way it turned out. So yeah, make sure to check it out. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter and subscribe for more.